it's Miss Sarah. Welcome to another character craft. This month we're going to do Froggy. So your kit is going to come with your instruction sheet for your crafts, your lyrics. The letter F is for frog, so you can color that in, so we'll learn that. You'll have your craft template. It's a little frog with some tiny little flies. You will also have some little frogs and some little logs, and you'll match your alphabet letters to them. So you'll just have to cut those out, and you'll put your letters right on the frog. It's also a great way not only to learn your letters, but learn how to spell your name. And then we have a Froggy coloring sheet, and on the back will be a Froggy maze. So before we start reading, I will show you what you're going to do for your frog craft. So you'll have this guy here. You don't have to cut him out. It's up to you though, you certainly can. And you'll have a little strip of red, which will be his tongue. Now you're going to color him in just like this, and you're gonna have 3 folds. The first fold, you're gonna fold right under his eyes before his mouth starts. So just like that, you'll see it like this. And then you're gonna fold right in half of his mouth. So just another fold. So that way when you close him, he's just a little frog. But when you open him, he's got a little tongue. So for the tongue part, you'll just need some glue or some tape, and you just roll up your strip just like this, like a stream, like a party favor. You're gonna just do it like that, and then he'll always be ready. So you can cut him out if you'd like, but then your flies will be missing. But there it is. So again, you'll just, his little tongue will be in there, and he'll look just like that. And then you can, you little tongue. How cute is that? Well, friends, so the first book we're gonna read, if we have time, we'll read 2, but the first one I have is Froggy Goes to the Library, and these are by Jonathan London. So if you end up liking the Froggy series, we have a whole bunch of them. It was Saturday morning, and Froggy stayed in bed to read his favorite book. It was about Super Frog. Froggy, called his mom. What? It's time to get up, dear. We're going to the library. Yippee! Cried Froggy, and he hopped out of bed and flopped into the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. You know how like a frog makes those little noises, little floppy feet? Let's go, said Froggy, and he started flopping out the door. Flop, flop, flop. First, said Mom, you have to get dressed. I know that, said Froggy. And he flopped back to his room and got dressed. Zip, zoop, zup, 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 zip. Then he flopped back, flop, 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 and said, let's go. I want to get books about Super Frog and T-Rex. But first, eat your breakfast, dear. Yum, said Froggy. Home flies and ketchup. Munch, crunch, munch. Then Froggy raced out the door. Froggy, called Mom. What? Don't forget your book bag, dear, so you can carry home lots of books. I'd better take the wheelbarrow, cried Froggy. I'm getting tons of books. And off to the library they went. Squeak, squeak, squeak. In no time at all, Froggy had a stack of books so high that he couldn't see over the top. So he tripped over Polly, whoops, and fell smack on his face, splat, and spilled all his books. And that's when he saw Frogalina. Hi, Froggy. Hee hee. Want some help picking up your books? I could do it myself, shouted Froggy. Please use your indoor voice, dear, said the librarian, Mrs. Otterbottom. Always remember to use your indoor voice in the library, so that way all of our friends can enjoy the library. First, Froggy read a book about Super Frog. He wasn't very good at reading, but he was very good at looking at the pictures. Zip, zip, zip. When he got to the part about Super Frog, flying high and fast after the bad guys, he stood on the table and spread his arms like wings. Please sit down, dear, said Mrs. Otterbottom. It's not polite to stand on the table. Oops, said Froggy. It's a good note, friends. Don't climb on furniture in the library. Then he picked out lots of books about dinosaurs, especially his favorite, T-Rex. Roar, cried Froggy, holding his hands up like claws. Can you make yours? Roar. Froggy, called Mrs. Autobottom. What? This is a library, dear, not Dinosaur Park. Oops, said Froggy. Sorry. Then Miss Autobottom announced, Story time, come gather around, children. Me, says Pollywoglina. Story time is for babies, said Froggy. We all love story time. Little by little, the book that Miss Autobottom was reading got all of his attention. What a great story, thought Froggy, and he wanted to know what happened next, so he scooted closer and closer. Look at him, just all the way over there. And when she started doing rhymes and songs, he got so excited that he leapfrogged over Froggalina, he leapfrogged over his mother, he leapfrogged over Polly, right smack beside Miss Otterbottom, and started singing wiggle, wiggle, waggle, waggle, giggle, giggle, gaggle, gaggle. And the kids all laughed like crazy, and Froggy kept singing and dancing. Until suddenly it grew quiet. So quiet you could hear a fly burp. Froggy took one look at Miss Otterbottom, and uh-oh, he knew he was in trouble. Oops, cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. Miss Otterbottom stared hard at him. Then smiled and joined in, and so did everybody else. Wiggle, wiggle, waggle, waggle, giggle, giggle, gaggle, gaggle, until story time was over. Thanks for being so, energetic, Froggy, said Mrs. Otterbottom, and she handed him the book she had been reading out loud and said, I'm glad to know that Froggy loves books. Come again soon. Thanks, cried Froggy. Books are the best. And he put it on top of his pile to check out. A lot of books. Then rolled his wheelbarrow full of books with Polly on top singing wiggle, wiggle, waggle, waggle, giggle, giggle, gaggle, gaggle. All the way home. Squeak, squeak, squeak. What do you think, friends? Isn't that a great story? Right, friends? So let's take out our song lyrics. We're gonna do 5 little speckled frogs. It's a really fun game. It's a really fun song, and you can just put down a finger every single time that we lose a frog. So the first is your 5. So we have 5 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are just 4 speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 4 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there were just 3 speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 3 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are just 2 speckled frogs. Glub, glub. So 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there was just 1 speckled frog. Glub, glub. 1 green and speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. He jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no more speckled frogs. Glub, glub. How fun is that song, friends? All right, well, that's the end of our song. I hope you had a lot of fun, and we will see you next month for our next character craft. Bye, friends.